Sunset in northern Uganda. The Joska children living in a village near the city of Gulu bid their mother Amono farewell.
Bye.
It's a nightly routine, carrying blankets, pillows, and bedrolls, walking several miles to urban shelters where they bunk down until sunrise. They conclude their day playing games and finishing up homework assignments. After bathing, it's lights out. Tens of thousands of children in northern Uganda and South Sudan, known as the night commuters, repeat this routine every evening. Some have done so for more than 2 or 3 years. Why do they do it? They fear this man, Joseph Kony, and his cult-like band of terrorists known as the Lord's Resistance Army, the LRA. For more than 15 years, Kony and his militiamen have terrorized the people of this East Africa region, raping, murdering, mutilating, and abducting innocents. This woman saw her husband hacked to death during an attack on her village. Sophia Apero was disfigured when an LRA soldier cut off her lips and ears with a razor blade.
I prayed, Jesus, come and help me. A spirit of peace surrounded me, and I felt Jesus saying, you will not die. You will live so that you may look after your children.
Tilling this garden is tedious and painful for 25-year-old Florence Lamaka and her mother-in-law, Feliciana. That's because their left hands were severed when they were abducted by the LRA. But it wasn't an LRA soldier who dismembered them. Florence was forced to cut off Feliciana's hand with an axe. Maimed and bleeding, Feliciana was then ordered to do the same to her pregnant daughter-in-law.
An LRA soldier stood behind me with a gun, and he said, if you do not cut the hand of this one, I'm going to shoot you. It was hard, but I had no other choice. I did it to save our lives.
Uganda President Yuweri Museveni is determined to stop the terror. In an exclusive interview with Cbn News, he talked of Kony and the Ugandan Army's efforts to kill or capture him. Is Joseph Kony a terrorist?
He is, of course. Of course he is, because a terrorist is the one who uses indiscriminate violence.
Some people are saying that Joseph Kony and the LRA have ties to Al-Qaeda. Is that true?
He had. It was in around 91 there. There was in the past. Not now.
Kony has received other support in the region. For nearly 2 decades, the Islamic regime in Khartoum did provide the LRA with the means to spread terror throughout northern Uganda and South Sudan. Of course, the United States is searching for Osama bin Laden. Uganda is searching for Joseph Kony. Are you going to find him?
We always know where he is, although to get there quickly has always been the problem. We shall get him.
And what about those tens of thousands of children who make that nightly journey from their rural villages into the cities? President Museveni says because the Ugandan Army now has Kony and the LRA on the run, the threat to the children is more perceived than real.
It's no longer possible to kidnap children, but it is part of the hangover because it was happening.
So the mindset hasn't changed?
It hasn't changed, but actually on the ground, those people are not able to kidnap children anymore.
Perhaps the LRA poses less of a threat to villagers in northern Uganda these days, but that's not the case in parts of South Sudan. This is the village of Ologwe, not far from Nimule, South Sudan. On a typical day, you'd see much activity here, children playing, women tending to these crops, but no longer. It's a virtual ghost town. That's because the LRA came in here and raided this village in early May. They killed people. This is one of the graves of one of the victims. They also raped some of the young teenage girls and abducted some of the children. These 2 boys were also victimized last spring. They witnessed the slaughter of their parents during a raid on the village of Pagari. 11-year-old Alex Lagu was shot in the shoulder and left for dead. His left arm was amputated as a result. 5-year-old Stephen Abulajo lost his left arm when an LRA soldier attacked him with a machete. Enter American missionary Sam Childers. He's rescued more than 400 Ugandan and Sudanese children from the LRA during the past 3 years. He gives them a safe haven at his children's village in Nimule. Cbn News witnessed Alex and Stephen's arrival and Childers' response.
Tell them they both can either come tonight or tomorrow, it doesn't matter. They're welcome to come stay. And you tell them Tom will not come here and harm them.
Last May, the LRA also attacked a village not far from Childers' compound. That prompted the construction of this chain-link fence financed by Cornerstone Television of Pittsburgh. Childers has armed guards patrolling the children's village around the clock, especially late at night, the LRA's preferred time of attack. While the security measures help reassure the children that they'll be safe, these youngsters are still chained by horrifying memories that torment their minds.
If you sleep here on the compound, there's not a night goes by that you won't hear the cries and the screams in the middle of the night. These children got to relive what happened to them.
Childers says he's praying that God will send experienced Christian trauma counselors to Children's Village to minister to those abused by the LRA. Girls like Mary and Betty. They were abducted by the LRA and forced to service the sexual desires of their captors. Childers rescued 11-year-old Betty in 2003.
She come with us when she was about 9, and she was sexually abused very bad. And she couldn't even hardly walk when she came. And now these two are the leaders of our choir.
This nightly ritual of song and dance by the Children's Village kids contrasts with that of the nightly commuters. For a few moments, these children forget the horrors and atrocities they've witnessed and experienced. Childers says he'll continue to rescue children until the terror spread by Joseph Kony and the LRA comes to an end. In the meantime, he's building more housing, 4 dormitories for the kids.
This building here was one that was fully funded by CBN.
And what difference will that mean for the kids?
Instead of one big building where there's like 50 kids sleeping inside, now they have a home. Now this first house that we have done, the children will be moving in, I hope within the next couple of days. We're going to put the older children inside of here. Because I feel that, I mean, they're older and everything, they should have more privacy.
This visit was longer than usual for Childers. After a stay of nearly 3 months, it's time to bid farewell to his African children and return to his American family in Pennsylvania. He'll return to Sudan perhaps in the fall. He leaves Children's Village reassured the new fence has made the compound more secure. He knows the new dormitories will mean more children will be rescued. And Childers is confident new orphan arrivals Alex and Stephen are now living in a safe place, a home filled with love and hope.
You know, a lot of these young children, they have never experienced God in the way that we have. We lift everything to heaven because it's our only hope. And these children, all they know is their only hope could be us.